Hello, today is March 1st, 2021. Trading is concluded, and we'll start as always by doing our disclaimer. It's my call for tomorrow, Tuesday, the 2nd of March, 2021. It's my plan, but I could be completely wrong, so if you do trade at your own risk. Follow my rules. I'll block you if you don't. Emails mejt.trades@gmail.com. Okay, we looked for the pattern with the early high. That's certainly it. And tomorrow also has the early high. We looked for a rally day. We said it could start either from Friday's low or from a lower price down here. We certainly had a rally. I did not predict it to be of this magnitude, but at least the directional call was correct. Let's just go over what we said. We said you can justify a short-term low either at Friday's low or at a lower price here. Mixed signal rules. We gapped and promptly moved outside the day's range. So all those things played out. Now we did have a target from last week, February 25th, I think was Thursday. It looked pretty much out of reach as recently as Friday morning, but it did print today. And as always, it was a support resistance area. We have a new target, most likely to print tomorrow, 3890.05. And if we don't gap up smartly, that's my call. During the day, we got an ultimate buy signal. That played out, but the MEJT system says this rally's not for keeps, and we're going to retrace under this line. Just remember, if we gap up sharply, the price remains, but the time doesn't. Well, this was our count for a long time. We're now entertaining strongly the possibility that instead of this being the end of wave blue B, this is A and B, and we're going to have one more wave down. That'll be wave blue B, and then there should be a rally wave similar to this magenta A, which we'll call magenta C. Right now, either of these counts worked. This certainly doesn't look like this wave blue A, and that's why I'm leaning towards the alternate count. Just Thursday, we had this huge collapse. Today, this huge rally. Big moves like this are seen typically at the tops. Just remember that. Now, you can always change the count here. We had brown A and brown B. I was thinking we made blue A of brown C. Somewhere in here would be blue B and then blue C to complete it. And maybe that's right, but we now have an A, a B, and C with C equal to A. So it doesn't break any rules. If the rally ended right here, it would be an ABC, and that would be brown B, and then you'd have brown C similar to brown A. At this point, you can't really tell. This wave for me, this last one from today in particular, is pretty tough to count. Now, we call this a hole in the wall gap. Here's your wall. Here's your gap. These things fill at some point, and usually they fill quickly. In fact, the majority of times, by Wednesday morning, you'll undercut Friday's low here, find support, then go up again. But that's the majority of time. That's not every time. It's not really good when you gap up and you hit a new high and a higher high and really can't close over this one. It's kind of cutting it close whether you closed over that or not. It's not really convincing enough for me personally to risk money one way or the other. We do have the volume spike here, typical of market lows. Volume dries up on the rally, doesn't speak well of its continuation. There really is enough of a move up to justify the minimum called for by the volume spike. We did bounce right off this trend line we've shown. The more times you bounce off it, the more likely it is you'll break through at some point. Doesn't mean it happens tomorrow. So, mixed signals. Tomorrow's pattern has the early high. You could still gap down. It's positive that today's normally bearish day is bullish. Tends to be followed by higher prices in days to come. But it's negative. We have a lower MEJT target and a hole in the wall gap. It should fill, and usually, not always, it fills quickly. It would be ideal if we were to trade just a bit over today's high and then reverse strongly. That's ideal, but it certainly isn't required. In any event, gapping strongly would as always kill the idea. So we have things pointing to higher prices, things pointing to lower prices. I'm just going to use the mixed signal rules. But I'm looking for at some point is for a pretty good move down, followed by an even stronger recovery. This is a candidate for the end of the leg. But usually when you get a move like this, if you're not going to trade over the high, you're going to gap down smartly at tomorrow's open. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. If we do, everything fits. But if that doesn't happen, I'd look for us to overtake this, but we still have lower targets. As I say, signals are mixed and we use those rules. Tomorrow has the early high, and that's today's call.